Welcome to Ziprecruiter presents Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program, or IJP, where I ask the question, Whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's, sponsored by Ziprecruiter. I'm your host, Brian Thompson. Before we begin, I would like to offer a brief explanation for the sound of my voice. I am recovering from a case of laryngitis, which I sustained during a road rage incident while driving my car/house through a drive-through car wash. As I am sure has happened to you, the gentle sound of suds spackling my moonroof lulled me into quite a soporific state. When the gas station manager banged on my window to wake me up, I was so startled I let out a larynx-injuring shout. Hopefully this does not prove a distraction. On last week's program, I brought to your attention a Chicago Tribune article from the year 1999 entitled Pizza May Make a Comeback at Area McDonald's. This article, by reporter George Lazarus, put forth the notion that despite McDonald's having discontinued its international pizza program, its continued selling of pizza at certain locations inside Walmart stores had met with some success. Consequently, McDonald's may reconsider whether they should again serve pizza on a broader scale. We know that this sadly did not come to pass. However, an intriguing detail in this article was the naming of the pizza wholesaler who supplied McDonald's with their product, a Chicago-based company called Nation Pizza and Foods. As Nation Pizza and Foods is still in operation, I theorize that any pizzas they may currently supply to their clients could be the very same pizzas they supplied to McDonald's. But when I contacted the company, the representative with whom I spoke informed me that it is against their policy to discuss anything related to their clients. This draconian and frankly anti-expression policy precluded them from either confirming that they did indeed supply McDonald's with pizzas or telling me which businesses currently purchase wholesale pizzas from them. In a revelation only stunning to those who have not been jaded by the many stonewalls and runs-around I have suffered in the course of my investigation, I was also informed that this policy was enacted roughly 20 years ago, aka around the end of the nationwide McDonald's pizza program. One need not be a trained journalist to find this timing suspicious, though listeners should rest assured I have extensive amount of both Google-based and on-the-job training in journalism. And, as a journalist, I am privileged to enjoy a special camaraderie with my colleagues around the world, including any reporters who happen to work at the Chicago Tribune. I decided to metaphorically cash in on this literal relationship and contact the writer of the article that had launched me down this alley of investigation, one Mr. George Lazarus himself.
Thank you for calling the Chicago Tribune. To speak with a classified representative about ad placement in the Chicago Tribune, press 1. If you would like to speak to a representative about subscriptions or delivery of the Chicago Tribune, press 2. To ask about a news article in the Chicago Tribune, press 3. Chicago Tribune.
Hello, may I please speak with a reporter named George Lazarus?
Mr. Lazarus has been deceased for about 20 years.
He's deceased?
Yeah.
Let me pause here a moment to share a brief message from my sponsor, Ziprecruiter. It is a tale as common as the stories of Bible. You are a devoted fanatic of the television series ALF, which is an acronym that stands for Alien Life Form. You spend hours upon hours each week watching the show on streaming services such as Crackle or the like. Thus, it is understandable that you would want to broaden your knowledge of ALF's lore. One problem: all the ancillary ALF tie-in material you are able to find on Amazon.com or the Electronic Bay is clearly targeted to the program's youngest devotees. You, on the other hand, are a full-grown adult with full-grown adult tastes. If only you could hire a novelist to write an ALF novel appropriate for an adult audience. That is where Ziprecruiter comes in. Ziprecruiter will find people who have the word novelist written somewhere on their resumes, and then they will send those resumes to you. All you have to do is sit back, mute ALF, and peruse their writing samples. In no time, you will have a qualified candidate who will write the ALF novel of your dreams. Ziprecruiter, making your dreams come true. Now back to our program. Upon receiving the startling news that George Lazarus had passed away roughly 20 years ago, the same rough number of years ago, mind you, that McDonald's ceased its national pizza program and Nation Pizza and Foods enacted a policy of total silence, I returned to my local public library and did some online research into the matter. Indeed, Mr. Lazarus died on Friday, September 8, 2000, just over 1 year after publishing the article, Pizza May Make a Comeback at Area McDonald's. According to his own newspaper, the Chicago Tribune, his body was found on a commuter train he took from his home to his office. The cause of death? Unknown. Clearly, I have stumbled into one of the most disturbing and potentially dangerous chapters of my investigation to date. 2 of the entities involved in McDonald's wholesale pizza operations were viciously silenced at the turn of the 21st century. One due to a cold and callous corporate directive, and the other due to his body ceasing to carry on its normal biological functions. It is quite fortuitous indeed that I now have the resources of my Ziprecruiter sponsorship to provide whatever protection I may need as I continue following this trail. And though things may seem bleak, I take comfort in the same place I always do, the pages of the book Bible. In those pages is contained a story about another man named Lazarus. Like this reporter, this one was also deceased. But the protagonist of Bible, one Jesus ben David, resurrected Lazarus with the power of necromancy. I do not plan to attempt to resurrect the reporter George Lazarus, as learning that ability would most likely require more Googling than I have time to do. But I see this story of the biblical Lazarus as a metaphor. Though my investigation may seem to have reached another dead end, I will turn this dead end into a live end. And hopefully, like Jesus ben David himself, the truth will soon escape its tomb. Today's episode of ZipRecruiter Presents Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter, we recruit, and we also pay people to tell you we do so. Thank you for listening to ZipRecruiter Presents Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, a proud part of the Pizza Plea Network. Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizzaatmcdonalds@gmail.com. Visit our attractive website at www.pizzaatmcdonalds.com. You will find links to our Twitter and Instagram pages, as well as to our Teespring store, where you may purchase quality ZipRecruiter Presents Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's merchandise. To provide financial support, visit patreon.com/pizzaatmcds, or to make a one-time donation, use our PayPal email address, pizzaatmcdonalds@gmail.com. I'm Brian Thompson.